Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I will be reviewing the Lange Sohne Saxonia Thin in white gold, reference 205.086, with this beautiful aventurine dial. I will tell you a little bit about the case, bezel dial, bracelet movement, and then try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with a little history first, though. The Lange Sohne is a German company. They only make approximately 3,500 watches a year. To compare that to other major brands such as Patek Philippe, which makes around 60 to 70,000, Audemars Piguet, which also is the 65 70,000 range, and then even Rolex, which is purported to release approximately 1 to 1.2 million watches a year. So 3,500 is on par with other very small production uh, like such as Richard Mille, which actually even produces more than Lange Sohne. They produced approximately 6,000 watches. So not a lot of watches, but their craftsmanship is is considered by many to be on par or even higher than that of Patek Philippe, even though they don't make very many. It might be the fact that they don't make very many that they do such great craftsmanship. And we'll see that when we turn over on the movement. Now, this is a very basic piece, just time only, not even time and date, just literally two hands, not even seconds. But there's still a lot of uh, intricate things to be said about this watch. So that's why we're going to do this review. Okay, now this is part of the Saxonia family of watches or collection. Now, Lange Sohne produces the Lange 1, which is probably their most famous. They make the Zeitwerk, which also is quite famous. They do the 1815, which is famous. The Saxonia is also up there, not as well known as those other two collections, and a few others that are not really well known at all. Okay, now part of the Saxonia family, they have many different complications. They have perpetuals, they have perpetual tourbillons, and so on. But what we're going to look at right now is just the most basic Saxonia, which is a Saxonia thin, which happens to be their thinnest watch. Okay, all right, now let's look into this, start talking about this watch itself. Of the Saxonia thin family, they make it in white gold as well as in rose gold. And then they have here this white gold, but this is a more special version of white gold because it has this really incredible dial. So I would say that of the Saxonia thin family, it's definitely the best one. All right, now let's dive in and start talking about the watch itself. Let's start with the case. Now, what is so special about this case? All right, well, first of all, yes, let's state the obvious, which is that it is thin. Being thin is quite a nice thing. Now, how thin is thin? Well, it's only 6.2 millimeters. That is quite thin, considering other watches that are considered thin, such as the Patek Philippe, some of their other very thin watches, or even Audemars Piguets. Those two are usually at around 8 millimeters. So if you look at, for example, Patek Philippe also does a Calatrava. It's called the 6119. It's a very nice piece. It does just literally the time only, no, not even time and date. And let's see, the millimeter size is 8 millimeters. This one is 6. Now, 2 millimeters might not seem a lot, but when you're considering going from 8 to 6, that is what, a 20%, 25% decrease in size. Is quite large. Okay, anyways, so if you like thin watches, definitely this could be it, and they do a great job of it. Now, what is nice about it is they still maintain this beautiful case. The case has this, the lugs that are very typical Lange Sohne, although they look slightly different than the other collections because this one's quite thin and they don't really flare out, but it does have quite nice lugs. And what I like about this is even though it's thin, look at when I turn it on its side. You have a brushed middle case, a very beautiful brushed middle case. It's kind of typical Lange Sohne. And then you have on the other side as well. And then you have the lugs that look kind of attached. They have this, they flare out a little bit, sort of still attached to the rest of the watch. And then you have high polish alternating between on the top and bottom of the case, along with the bezel. So quite a nice way to make it look, even though it's still very small, very thin. And also the size, at being at 39, also a great size. Not big at all, but of course not too small. It is a dress watch, so it's not meant to be big and bulky like a sports watch, but it looks, yeah, very nice. Okay, now let's move on to the dial here. Now, what is special about the dial? Well, as you can see, I call it a venturing dial. I'm not sure that Lange Sohne would call it that, but AP does call it that. And that what that is it's like a star dial. It looks like the galaxy. Like if you were to look up into the sky, you would be able to see the stars at night. That's what they are going for on this. And what makes it so beautiful is that the dial itself actually is made out of silver, German silver, which is very common for Lange Sohne to do. They use German silver, and then they put dark blue gold flux on it to give it this look. And of course somehow they got these little white dots on it everywhere, but it's quite beautiful. Actually, it looks kind of like the stars in the sky. All right, that is the dial. Now let's move on to Let's move on to the movement. Now this is where this watch really shines, just like Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe, I would say that their competitor to this watch would be the 6119. It's the Calatrava. This movement on the Lange Sohne is a L093.1. It has 167 parts, which is not that many parts, but considering it only tells just time and actually just time, not even time and date. To compare that, by the way, to the Patek Philippe, the 6119 has 164 parts. So about the same. Okay, now what I could say, what is beautiful about this movement, now you might be, if you don't really know that much about watches or haven't seen that many, you might just look at the movement and think, okay, whatever. Let me point out a few things that are nice. First, let's look at the overall finish with his base plate that they put over it. Very nicely done, right? With these very nice finishing. Also, the jewels that you see here, the jewels are the ones that are in pink or red. The purple, I guess you say. Those are jewels. That's the hinge point of where parts move. They use jewels so that they can create the least amount of friction. But what it really stands out, and no other brand does, is look at the balance wheel and then the bridge that connects to it. This is hand engraved. Even on their most basic model, they hand engrave it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. If you were to take a loop and look at it like I have, you would realize, wow, what craftsmanship. And no other brand actually does that. So Lange Sohne finishes their movements to a level that I don't think any other brand does, not even Patek Philippe. And if you actually remove some of this stuff, you'll see that the screws are polished, even the ones that cannot be seen. It's crazy. I mean, you would wonder, why would you polish, screws that cannot even be seen? Well, if your name is Lange Sohne, then you probably would do that. Okay, and by the way, it would be the only major luxury watch brand that is made in Germany. I guess you might say there's others, but really, in all reality, or like La Schuta or something, but in reality, Lange Sohne is probably it is definitely the most famous one. And this movement is the reason why. All right, so that is the movement there. Okay, now let's move on to the strap. The strap, actually, of course, you can change it to whatever you want. It comes with this dark blue alligator strap, and it has this prong buckle, which is also in 18 karat white gold to match the rest of the watch. And there you have it. That is the end of the review. Okay, let's try this watch on my wrist. Now, I am 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and you might actually think that 39 millimeters was too small, but when you see it on my wrist, it does not look too small at all. It looks just right, and the thinness of it, this is meant to be a watch that is worn in a dress type fashion, and it really accomplishes that. I think it's a great watch from a great brand. I love the simplicity of the dial, the thinness of it. Just something that you could wear with a suit, a tux, something very elegant, beautiful. It's like a beautiful pair of black leather shoes. It'll never go out of style. This watch will never go out of style, that's for sure, because there's really not much on it. It's a very plain watch, and white gold will match everything. So there's a lot of things going for it. And I can tell you this, the retail price is in the high 20s as of 25, might even be 30s, in the 30s now, but we are selling it at jazztime.com at a discount. That's right, in the low 20s. So you can not only get the watch, because no other places have it, but you can also get it at a discount by clicking on the link in the description below or going to jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.